So the body should remain still and the wheel should move. But remember, there's a spring here that's not damped. Good. And then if you look here, you've got 0.3, remember 0.3 to 0.4, total axle weight, 800 kilos, and then you've got the plot in time, and you've got stiff damper, slightly softer damper, and it's softer in what we call the high-speed bump, which is the velocity of the bump coming at the wheel. Not the forward velocity, but the shaft velocity. It's a low rider, anti-roll bar, drop links. You're running full soft on the anti-roll bar, drop links on the anti-roll bars. And soft. Where the wheel is. And what we're going to do is increase the ride height by increasing the preload given by Ohlins. Using the spring perch here, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn that using these, and we're going to turn it by a set mount, one revolution. So people ask me what one revolution means. Well, the thread pitch there is 1.75 mil, but because of the motion ratio, if I adjust this 1.75 mil, this here, so I move that spring perch up by 1.75, I don't necessarily get 1.75 mil of ride height change between this and this. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out an arbitrary, so I'm going to measure the ride height, move it 2 full turns and see what the impact is. If we use the calculation of the motion ratio, which is a function of how the spring relates to where it is in the lever arm, then we could actually work out how many of these turns to get a certain ride height change. Yeah, but it's quicker for me just to calibrate. Yeah, so that's one. So if I take this to the production position, which production position is here, so when the car comes from the factory, that's where it is. So BMW E46, that's a production position for the cambers at standard ride height. And if we want more negative camber, that's more grip in corner, then we do that. And it moves this further out and tips the wheel in at the top. If we want less negative camber and more stability, or running winter tyres, we move it to there. Now, if you remember, Ohlins suggested that we set the preload to 4 millimeters. So 4 millimeters was let me think, what was the 4 millimeters was a set distance from the bottom of the damper to here plus 4 to stop the spring rattling. As we put more load on the bottom of the spring here, more force is affected at the top of the spring, and the effect is the spring negotiates between the wheel, which is pushing down, and the body, which is then pushing off. So if this is my spring here, look what happens to my shoulder. If I put more force there, my shoulder goes up. This is the wheel contact patch, this is the car, this is the spring, up she goes. And conversely, if I undo the spring, the car goes down. So, if this was a race car now, setting it up with the driver in, just the driver, and a race worth of fuel, and the car ballasted to the regulation weight. So road cars, slightly different. So the objective of counterweight balancing is to ensure that each wheel is carrying and doing its job. If it's carrying mass, then the mass is used then to generate the grip. So if you lighten the load at one point, you get less grip. So with corner weight balancing, especially with coilovers, what we're trying to achieve is each of the wheels does their job. And we put weight on the top of the table, these two legs would take the weight first and these two would shy away from their job. The reason we're doing this, of course, is that when we go into a turn, we want the wheels to be gripping the same ratio, this corner and this corner, the same ratio turning left as we are turning right. One of the things that comes out of corner weighting when it's correct is this difference across from front to rear, these two values will become the same. So we'll end up with maybe 30-30, and these two values here will become the same. So what I'm looking for now is to corner weight so that I remove this and add to that and make these the same. In order to achieve that, if this was a four-legged table, I put a beer mat under that leg and a beer mat under that leg and take one from there, take one from there. And to take one on a coilover is equivalent to removing one rotation of the spring perch. And to add one to these, add one rotation of spring perch.